What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lycan here, back with another Marvel Rival video. This video is going to be my day one grind on PC. I have never played PC before. I've never played pretty much any game on PC except RuneScape, and that was because back then, like, my parents couldn't afford, I didn't have a high-end PC, so I had the bare minimum. And it could barely run RuneScape. Like, I was struggling in that. So now that I have a high-end PC, it's like, let's play. Like, everybody always says PC's better than console. Everybody always says PC's more harder or whatever, mouse and keyboard. You know that. I never personally cared either way. It was like, cool. But now I get to see. Now we finally are gonna see, is PC more difficult than console? Is, like, I get to see where I fall at in the bracket. I've already hit Celestial in console, like on console, and I recorded it and uploaded. Y'all have seen that. But now you'll get to see PC from bronze to, at the bare minimum, Celestial. Like, that's the bare minimum when I'll stop Celestial. I don't know about Eternity or One Above All, simply because it's a probability that you fall out of that because of, like, decay, and I just don't have the time to be on every day, all day playing. Like, I have certain blocks of when I can play. You know, my mother has cancer and all that. So that's not important. The important part is I'm going to be trying to upload every day. Also, if you want to check me out live, you can check me out on twitch.tv/LycansAdventure or tiktok.com/LycansAdventure. You will also be able to find in the description box and the pinned comment down below my all my social medias, Discord, all of that stuff. If you ever want to reach out and talk, I'm always there. I'm always down to have a conversation. I'm just a guy that likes talking about video games and playing video games. But enough of that. Let's jump right into this video. So day one started out, I pretty much got into game one. In game one, it was pretty much like your typical bronze lobby. Like, I didn't expect much. I was thinking bronze rank, oh, I'm gonna breeze through these lobbies right quick. I ended up getting snatched by a goddamn Wolverine, frame one. I was like, okay, it's gonna be that kind of day for me. But that was pretty much the only real thing that happened in game one. Then we end up going to game two. Game two, I'm playing Hawkeye just for shits and giggles, because it was like, oh, why not? But as I'm playing Hawkeye, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, just doing basic Hawkeye stuff. Group pushes me. I end up hitting a 6-shot on Cloak and Dagger. I did not realize that, like, watching it back and watching it again, it didn't sink into my head that I actually hit that shot that crazy. But I'm bad aim, missing. I end up killing Jeff. And then I realize, I turn around and everybody's favorite demon, Black Panther. He pretty much is trying to pounce on my fish. So I'm trying to protect my fish, because I'm like, all right, I got to protect Jeff at least. He's at least healing me. And I'm like, all right, cool. It's not that big of a deal. I kill Phoenix. At this point, I'm still thinking everything's cool. Jeff dies. I pop ult trying to kill Black Panther. But let's just say no. Luckily, Psylocke saved me, because if Psylocke didn't save me, I would have died. But so I'm still running around killing. Blade runs up on me. I'm like, Blade, what do you think? What are you doing, Blade? Back up. Why would you even do that? No, you just die. So at this point, Black Panther combos me out again. At this point, I'm realizing I swap. I kill Punisher, and I end up in this one-on-one with Black Panther again. This is the game-deciding 1v1. We are going at it, and he just kills me. He kills me. And that pretty much wraps up game one. We end up choking that game, and at the end of the game, I'm like, you know what? Black Panther is the reason we're losing this game. I'm trying to communicate to my team, like, hey, we lost that game. We had 99%. We lost because of BP. Counter BP. So I'm sitting up there. I swap the Iron Man. Torch pushes me. I kill Torch. Punisher tries to shoot me. I'm getting healed by Jeff. I see the demon again. Once I see that demon, I was like, nope, I'm helping the team out. Somehow, though, Psylocke still died. Psylocke died. I was able to protect Luna, though, and I ended up overextending trying to kill Torch. Once I ended up overextending to kill Torch, I'm now killing Jeff, and I was like, oh, okay, Jeff, Torch. All right, we're good right now, right? No, we're not, because that demon's back again. And now that he's back again, I'm saying to myself, okay, as long as he dies, we're good. Everything else is good. He is the problem. Sure enough, we kill him, we win the round over. Just like that. Going into the start of second round, or the final round, I should say, because we lost the first one, in my head, I knew that they were going to counter me. I was this is a duel between me and BP and who's going to end up winning the game, because BP's going off on their team and I'm going off on my team. So it's pretty much coming down to that. They counter swapped to Iron Man, Torch, and it was, I believe, another character, but essentially the Punisher ended up swapping to Lord Iron Man. I'm winning that. It doesn't matter. I sit on this spot of the map because I'm like, ooh, I remember if I can ult right here. Look at this juicy ult. And of course I whiff. But didn't matter. I was able to get a couple of kills and then kill BP while he was sitting up there diving my team. And at this point, you see, I'm getting chased by Emma, Iron Man, and Torch. And yeah, there was just no way I was making it out of there alive. But because Groot was able to fight for his life on point, I ignore BP because I was like, it's no point in me worrying about him. I had to make sure I killed Iron Man and I killed Torch, even though I almost died. Thank you, Jeff. So that way I could own the sky, ran back to Jeff, and then it was just like, all right, now I'm gonna just sit up here and just pepper y'all, and there's nothing y'all can really do about it because Emma can't reach me, thankfully. So, and I had Luna Emma pocket healing me, so I'm just like, oh, we get to eat for free. And then she pops ult, obviously, and I'm like, yeah, no, hide. And pretty much at that point, I kill Iron Man, I kill Torch. We end up taking point. We hold point for the remainder of the game at this point because there's nothing they can really do. He didn't swap off of BP, and we win because of it. Now look at the name in the following clip. Guess what? Yep, if you were able to guess correctly, me and that Black Panther, we ended up on the same exact team. I actually found this to be somewhat hilarious, even though he didn't, because he ended up getting stuck with the cloak and dagger from the last game as well. So he thought it was pretty much gonna go like an ugly game, even though I didn't, because of my thought process was we had Black Panther and then he had that. I pretty much knew we were gonna stomp. And well, we proceeded to stomp. I decided to play Star-Lord for shits and giggles just because I figured it would be fun in his bronze rank. We ended up getting a ninja take because the enemy team was so fixated on getting kills and not paying attention to the payload that it was really him. I just tagged along, but we were able to get it pretty much in. We 3-0'd them, no problem. We then go into, now we got to play defense. And like before, I was thinking the same thing, like it's going to be easy. We're not going to struggle. If we 3-0'd them pretty easily. We shouldn't have any issues in this game. And well, we honestly didn't. For the most part, the game went pretty smooth for the most part. We had a couple hiccups here and there, but for the most part, we were able to keep them in spawn. And a lot of people in the metal ranks like bronze, silver, gold, they just don't pay attention. It's like everybody is so fixated on trying to get a kill that they don't pay attention to payload, they don't pay attention to their teammates, they don't work together, anything like that. It's really just, you're gonna stomp purely off the fact that as long as you have basic game sense, you're going to win. Then my next game came around. In my next game, I said, you know what? I decided to play Moon Knight once again, just cause. I said, why not? Let's play Moon Knight. And so I'm sitting back playing Moon Knight, and it's just not going well. Like, I'm doing Moon Knight stuff. I'm dealing damage. I realize they got an enemy team has an Ultron. I don't like playing Moon Knight in the Ultron because it just feels like he can it feels like it's very easy to dodge his onks that he's throwing out. So I really don't like playing Moon Knight in the Ultron. And then I realized we get these demons again. They got BP, Spidey, and Phoenix. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I need to swap. And I request to get a Hulk for Hulk Namor, Gamma Squid. my tanks end up dying. They don't want to swap for whatever reason. And my healing wasn't the greatest, but I'm thinking, okay, you know what? It's early. We can still bring this back. They haven't captured point yet. You see, I'm trying to, get the squids out. I'm trying to pick off this Ultron because I realize, I hate the fact that you can play angles like that so well. But I'm like, all right, I can sit back, I'll get out, back up, regroup, see if I can get my teammates to give me a Hulk for the Hulk Namor. No, he swaps to Strange. Once he swapped to Strange, I said, you know what? I'm playing Wanda. And we proceeded to get stomped to, I was like, all right, cool. Wanda, people underrate her. She is underrated. I kill Ultron, bet. I tried to kill Phoenix with Cap, and Cloak and Dagger popped off. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm out. Peace. But Phoenix is chasing me. I'm like, why are you chasing me? It doesn't make sense. So at that point, I'm like, all right, I kill BP, I kill Spidey. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're good. We can still bring it back. No, we didn't bring it back. We lose the team fight. I get jumped by Phoenix and Spidey at the top. I'm trying to hold. Then we get somehow, some way, we brought this back. We brought it back, and I was in my head, I'm going, okay, we can win this. If we hold this point right here, we are fine. We can still bring this game back. Spider-Man players, I don't understand why they try to fight Wanda. Like, she doesn't have to aim. You're not gonna kill her. Like, you just aren't. But Hulk pops all. I stun him, trying to kill Hulk. He swaps off of Strange into Thor because he died. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Strange was working. It didn't make sense, but whatever. Jeff ults me. Jeff single-handedly ulted me, and I'm trying to figure out, why did you ult me? Out of everybody there, Cloak was right to my left. You could have ulted Cloak or Loki. You chose me? All right, whatever. And we end up losing the team fight because I died, Blade died. Pretty much everybody died. So at that point, it was just like, all right, yeah, no, this is not about to go. Phoenix is eating, Spider-Man's eating. Yeah, bodies are just piling up. It looks like a graveyard at this rate. So I'm just like, yeah, no, maybe my ult could save us. Ult didn't save us. And then this is with the irritated part. That irritated me because I was standing next to Loki begging for heals, and he never healed me. We end up losing that match. So when we lose that match, I'm telling my team, hey, we gotta counter Black Panther. We've gotta counter Spider-Man. Spider-Man ends up going for a play to pull somebody off the map. He ends up whiffing. I don't think much of it, but he ends up getting the kill on me because I didn't want to burn my ult, and Rocket had his ult out, but my team just couldn't kill. So I eventually end up popping my ult to get into the back line to take as much space as possible. I try to kill Storm, realize Storm isn't going to end up working out. So I'm like, all right, I know at least if Cloak and Dagger can't pop her ult, we can guarantee get this point. So literally this entire time, I'm just trying to heal everybody while at the same time call everything out so everybody on my team can kill. Because I realize my team is struggling with kills. They just were. But it's also bronze rank, or it's silver, one of the two, so it's to be expected. Storm tries to pop a last second ult on point. We end up getting the point. We hold. I was happy and ecstatic because I'm just like, yes, okay, we might be able to do this. For whatever reason, he got off Black Panther and was on Storm now. I don't know why he swapped the Storm, but thank you for doing it. So we're healing. The previous Cloak and Dagger's playing Magneto. They're playing well. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, Mag, save your ult just in case, for the enemy Cloak. Like, help us out. So he ends up hitting the Kobe. He sniped her. I was like, all right, cool. Everybody on the team isn't killing. I think at this point, I still had the highest kills on the team, but it didn't matter. At least we're slowly pushing and taking space. And that's all that matters. And now that I have my ult, I'm like, yeah, there's no way y'all are getting this. Because I know the enemy Cloak doesn't have ult. So I know as long as we have a basic team fight here, we can take this. And then I pop ult. I didn't want to pop ult because I sat there and got mistaken with Rocket, and we both popped ult at the same time. But it's a good thing we did because Jeff ate me. Jeff ate me and then killed me, and that is the play with Jeff. But Spider-Man tried to pull me off the map, ended up killing me because I got just greedy because I was worried about my team not being able to kill. But actually, we were able to kill. We were moving through. Moon Knight hit a sick ult. He killed 3. Spider-Man tried to swing by and pop his ult, and I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. My team all of a sudden wanted to chase him. I'm like, no, stop. Just get on point. Let's tie this up 3-3. Let's go into the next game. Somehow I got the most kills, and I don't even know how. But game is tied up 3-3, and I'm like, all right, we can do this. We didn't get point. We only got 83% on the off when we had our offense because our team couldn't kill, but we can still bring this back. I'm healing everybody. I'm calling stuff out. They whiffed the Jeff NATO. Once they whiffed Jeff NATO, I popped ult because I was like, oh, all we got to do is get point. As long as we get point, we are fine. And we won. We brought that back. The enemy, we did not deserve that game. The enemy team deserved that game.
DPS was bad.
They outplayed us 100%. But because of our teamwork, we were able to bring that back. And I love games like that. I love games when it's you work as a team. It might be ugly, but damn it, you win. And that's what it was. It was a bronze rank. It was a bronze rank match, and we ended up winning because of it. All right, then at the end of that game, I was happy for that. We end up going into the next game, and once we go into the next game, I got pretty much at the start of the match, we get teleported on by Strange. I'm playing Blade just for shits and giggles, why not kind of thing. I tried to kill their back line and pick off Punisher. Once I realized that, oh, he's teleported on me, my whole thought process is trying to separate and pick them off one by one. But it didn't work out in my favor because for whatever reason, their Strange was just out of position. Like he just didn't want to fight on the front lines. And then once I realized my Cloak and my Jeff got picked off, I just backed up because I knew we were going to lose point. I ended up killing Psylocke because she just got too bold with it. And once she died, we ended up having a team fight in the little cubby hole on the map. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Strange, for once again, being strange, and decided to push off on the other side. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take that one-on-one and win. Thank you. And once I see this juicy section, it was like, oh, Mantis ult, Luna ult. Yeah, for whatever reason, Blade ult just doesn't, it's so easy to walk out of. It just doesn't feel good to use. But we end up fighting team fights. Everybody's in that area. But since Cloak and Dagger popped her ult, you can just go Bloodline Awakening with Blade and then just start swinging because at that point, they're not going to be able to kill you because they're not going to be able to out-heal the Bloodline Awakening and the Cloak and Dagger ult. Once again, same scenario. The team literally is grouped up. I get them grouped perfectly, but to no avail. They just walk out of the ult. I really do not like Blade's ult. I genuinely don't. But we end up fighting. We killed Scarlet Witch. After she dies, Cloak pops her ult. I just start swinging on anybody and everybody. I don't know how Psylocke died in Luna ult. Like, that didn't make sense to me because it was like Luna ult should have healed her, but she ended up dying. At this point, I realized, oh, Strange pushed my healers. I'm like, no, you're not killing my healers. That's not gonna happen. So at this point, I still haven't died yet. I eventually end up dying, and my philosophy is always, if you are a Wanda player, if you have a Strange, play Wanda. So once I see the fact that we got a Wanda, my whole thought process kicked in. Play Wanda. Why not? It's very good. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play Wanda. We're at that point, Strange decided to teleport on the team to ult. Mantis popped her ult, and then Emma popped her ult. At this point, my whole thing is I just need to kill Rocket. I was looking for Rocket, but I also got silenced by Emma. I thought Emma was going to kill me, but she was so fixated on worrying about killing me that she wasn't worrying about being on point, and she had to touch point. Because she didn't, we end up winning that round 1-0. So we're going into the next match. I'm telling my team, that was a good round. We won. Yeah, we could have did better. It could have been zeros. It could have been like we could have held them at point, but we did good. It's fine. We end up capturing point eventually. It wasn't like it wasn't a back and forth, but it was ugly. I'm trying to pick off their back line, but I realize Wanda is protecting them. So I'm waiting for my team to come up because I see we have 30 seconds left and I have my ult. So it's going to come down to, can I make a play with my ult? They, for whatever reason, Sue decided to pop her ult. Just to let it be known, Sue ult cannot tank Wanda ult. You either have to block it or crowd control her. But you cannot sit there and just out heal it, heal sustain it. That will not work. So once that happened, I was like, thank you. Shit. So they all tried to run up at the last second to be able to get, but at that point, it was pretty much over. We knew it was over. I'm just fighting them there, just trying to hold them off. And I ended up going off in a pretty good game. But at the same time, I looked at it like, it's bronze. So yeah, I did 48-4, but it's bronze. Like, it's not really that big of a deal, to me at least. So if you made it this far in the video, give me a like, comment, subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated if you did any of those. This is my rank up game for bronze to silver. At this point, I'm like 9 games deep, 3 hours in the stream, talking with stream, just goofing off being dumb. And within that time period, these next 2 games, because actually I believe this is game 8, I questioned whether or not literally I was in bronze rank. Because if you just watch the gameplay and you didn't know what rank I was in, you wouldn't think it was bronze, because it felt like typical celestial bullshit I dealt with. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, it's cool. I'll play Iron Man, because why not? Like, I'm looking at the team. We got a Scarlet, we got Emma, we got Cloak. We also have Jeff and Phoenix, and I'm just like, why not? Cool. I'll play Iron Man. Even though I really didn't want to, but it was like, let's see, we're on offense. So it's like, let's see what can help the team. So at the start of the match, Spider-Man tries to make a play, pulling somebody off the map. He ends up killing himself. I found that to be hilarious. I'm playing chip him out with Iron Man, because you know that's just his play style, chip everybody out. And so they start to pretty much pressure me. I'm taking a bunch of damage. Wanda ends up coming up to kill me. Once Wanda killed me and I saw that the enemy team had a Spider-Man and a Wanda, I said, do I swap? I ended up swapping, because at that point, they swapped to Punisher. The game isn't looking good. We're getting kind of stuck at this doorway, and I just didn't like the way Iron Man was feeling. So I'm applying pressure with Star-Lord, because Star-Lord has that high mobility. I'm like, oh, okay, Angela's weak. I can kill Angela right quick, but Angela being Angela, she got away. And for whatever reason, Punisher just decided to set up a turret. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea for a turret, but it wasn't. Spider-Man dives in, and I'm just like, no, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I can keep up with you. And I tried to chase Jeff, but it didn't work out, because it just didn't work. Angela popped a crazy ult, and then that ult combined with Spider-Man ult smoked us. For whatever reason, Punisher thought he was going to join the crew, and I was like, yeah, no, buddy. Like, you're out here by yourself not getting healed. That's not going to happen. Angela wanted to chase me to try to get the kill, but it just didn't work out, because it was like, Angela, you're not the only one with mobility. Marvel Rivals is going down that place of mobility. But I had my ult, so I went for a backline play. I get Punisher. I get Cloak. No, I tried to get Cloak. I was aiming to finish off Angela. I tried to finish off Angela and I realized I was like, my health's low. I'm about to get jumped by 3 people. This isn't the smart play. Let me just back off to my team. You got to know when, but I ended up getting that Angela kill anyhow. You got to know when to back off. Punisher is sitting there in a turret with Spider-Man in the corner, and I guess Phoenix just didn't like him because she just popped ult on top of him for no reason, and we end up jumping and killing Punisher. You're probably questioning right now, Lycan. You said that this was a match that made you question whether or not this was actually a bronze rank lobby or Smurfs or whatnot. Right now, y'all are pretty much walking through them no problem. So what's making you question whether or not it's a bronze rank lobby? You might not belong in Celestial. Trust me, stick around. So I'm sitting there, my Wanda gets a cool play with the fact of her ult. It was cool. I was like, hey, okay. We get the second point. Cloak pops her ult to try to stagger and hold us, but that didn't work out in her favor. They swap everything up now at this point. They had a single healer, so that's how I knew like the game wasn't going in their favor. And at this point, Strange teleports on top of us, and they pretty much combine Strange teleport plus Angela's ult, and then obviously you run into the Demon BP. They decided to swap and play Black Panther. Once I recognize this, I see Black Panther and Rocket in the back. I'm just sitting in the back like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out and be Star-Lord and just shoot my guns from a range. Me and BP decided to have this one-on-one aside from everybody else, and well, yeah, no, it didn't work out in his favor because he tried. I'll give him that, but that's just what it was. He was just trying. I end up going into the back line with my ult, and at that point, I pop ult, get a couple of kills, and Punisher almost killed me, though. I will give him that. Spider-Man tried as well, but I ended up, we pretty much walked. I popped ult, got a couple kills, applied pressure, and it also ended up killing Strange with Cloak and Dagger because he was crying out for help. But we end up clutching up the round. We win 3-0. In your mind, you're probably going, Lycan, you lied. This should be, y'all should have smooth got this. No. So at the start of the next round, I'm thinking we're on defense now. We're fine. It's good. This is going to be an easy game because we just 3-0'd them. I didn't know that Spider-Man swapped to Psylocke and just became the most annoying character to play against because for whatever reason, my team wanted to ignore Psylocke. So we're fighting. We're like, everything is going. So what I believe, everything is going fine. You know, they're moving up slowly, but I'm not thinking much of it. Psylocke is slowly helping her team, or whoever that player is, their team, slowly ease their way up to the gate and take it, almost to a point where, and my team is just getting picked off and they're not trying to do anything about her. I'm telling them, ping, let me know. I will fight Psylocke and win. That is no problem. But I need to know. They end up not telling me. They get the first point. And now I have my ult. I pop my ult and Magneto says, yeah, no, you're not doing that again, buddy, Kobe. And just pretty much countered me and threw it right in my face. I was like, oh, thank you, I guess. So at this point, I realized that Star-Lord isn't working out. So I swap back to Iron Man because I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can chip out and help Wanda because I'm seeing my Wanda is killing, but we are slow. Like we're both killing, but they're slowly just getting this point on. So I'm like, okay, I'll play Iron Man, I'll chip them out, and that'll be able to counter Cloak and Dagger all. So like, okay, it'll work itself out. I'm playing that. I'm like, oh, okay, I get the kill on Punisher. Got the kill on Punisher. For whatever reason, Magneto is just horny for me. So he keeps sitting up there trying to fight me, and then Rocket pushes me. And at this point, that's how I knew it was bad, when Rocket killed me. So at this point, they are already making their way to the second point. I'm still playing Iron Man, trying to chip them out. I got an aggressive Rocket against me. Their entire team is pretty much pushing me. It's pretty much me by myself, and I realized that now they're playing triple support. They're playing triple support, and on top of them playing triple support, they have 2 healing ults, sustain ults. We do not. We have Jeff. They have Rocket, Jeff, Cloak. We have Jeff and Cloak. So I'm trying to get our Jeff to swap. Like, hey Jeff, can you play Loki? Can you play Rocket? Can you play any other healer to help us out? Because right now it's not working. So I end up dying again, and once I die again, I swap to Loki. I swap to Loki because Jeff pretty much said, fuck you, he's not swapping. So at this point, I'm just trying to do whatever's necessary for the team to win. And I normally complain about other people last minute swapping, but in this situation, it was like I had no choice. I'll sacrifice it. It doesn't matter. I just want to win. So I'm trying to sit up here and play Loki. I'm trying to heal at the same time Psylocke is diving. So my whole thought process is, if I can just build up Cloak and Dagger ult, if I can build up ult to copy Cloak and Dagger, we can win. Because if it's double Cloak and Dagger, most people don't have a counter on their team for that. But yet again, Psylocke being Psylocke, she's going off. She's going off, killing, credit where credit is due. And Wanda isn't dealing with her. I was dealing with her. So now that I'm not dealing with her and our Psylocke isn't countering their Psylocke, it's just we're getting stomped at this point. So now we went from 3-0ing them to now we are just getting dog walked. Like, it is not even close. It was bad. It was very bad. So at this point, I'm like, Jeff, buddy, you gotta swap. We need something not named Jeff because we lost because of Jeff. And I'm trying to get him to swap. The Cloak and Dagger player's like, yeah, anything but Jeff. And he didn't want to swap. He finally says he's going to swap, and he swaps to Adam. You go from Jeff to Adam. Worse to even worse. Like, or worser, and it's not a word. Like, it's you need sustain ults in this game. You just do. So at that point, I said, you know what? Since he doesn't want to play sustain, cool, I'll do it. I'll play support. So at this point now, I'm playing Rocket. We have Adam and Cloak. I'm like, okay, that's enough sustain. Hopefully, it's just gonna come down to Phoenix and Wanda to kill. But the funny thing about it is now that Psylocke is hard diving me for whatever reason, and I'm sitting there begging Wanda like, hey, it's now your responsibility. You have got to check Psylocke. If you check Psylocke, we win. If you don't, we lose. At this point, I'm just doing basic Rocket stuff. I'm healing with Rocket. I'm trying to get an angle in which I can heal my team with Rocket, because a lot of people don't pay attention to where Rocket is. But for whatever reason, Mag and Psylocke noticed where I was and said, yeah, no, we're going to kill you. So I said, I'm just going to panic, drop my ult, so that way at least my team stays alive. I end up coming back. We end up basic Rocket gameplay. At this point, I'm not like other Rocket players. I have the philosophy that you should never pretty much use Rocket's Gatling gun unless absolutely necessary. Your whole objective is just right click or right trigger, whatever your healing button is. Do that. That is always your option. You can never out heal or heal enough. So for me, with Rocket, I just figured I sat here in this corner. You notice this entire gameplay. They never pay me attention. They never do anything. I'm just sitting here talking to the team, communicating, calling people out. Like, hey, Cloak is here, Strange is here, healing. But my team didn't end up winning. And we ended up in a situation where I was like, okay, well, my team's dying. I need to hold point for as long as possible because we can't end on a 3-3. Strange, luckily, because of that last few seconds that I was able to buy them, Strange was able to get a portal and get to the zone. So because of that, I was able to keep holding out. We held out point. I shot my rocket on rocket action right here, but I ended up shooting out the revive beacon. Psylocke was trying to make a play because she had ult, but I was like, no, we just gonna sit back. I have my ult in case she pops her ult, and we managed to get it. So, but now we are in overtime. And on the top of that, we cannot move off a point. So in these type of scenarios, I'm telling the team, I'm constantly reminding them, hey, it's overtime. We can't move off a point, and they have ults. So everybody's just trying to dive in. I know that I have my ult. So we have at bare minimum 1 defensive ult. And I know the enemy team is going to sit up there. And as you just saw, everybody, if Emma had stepped off a point, we would have lost right there. But everybody's just like moving forward. We're working together, slowly chipping it out. And I'm just like, please don't let us all step off at this point. That is the only thing right now that could possibly kill us. If we all step off a point, we are cooked. And I would be so mad to lose like that. But if we stay here, we might be able to do it. I got greedy and Psylocke popped ult because she snuck up on me because I got cocky and was like, oh, we good. Nothing's gonna happen. But luckily my team was able to clutch up. So now we are up 5-3. We still have Rocket ult, and my team is still being able to hold point with me dying, pretty much being the 1 defensive ult. So at this point, everything is looking good. I'm hype. I'm like, oh, okay. And we also have Adam ult, but I really don't count Adam ult as a defensive ult because it's just a revive, and it's very easy to just kill him. Once everybody health starts getting low, Strange was like, hey, Rocket ult. He's begging for ult. So I said, nope, say less. So at that point, I use my ult and I save the team. We end up moving up, and once again, I'm still being Rocket. I'm dropping my revive beacons. I did not realize, though, at this point, because he Strange portaled, we never had an opportunity for him to go back and play triple support. So I am the only real support ult. We don't have Cloak and Dagger ult. So at this point, the enemy team realizes this. They're not worried about Adam. They're trying to focus and kill me. Angela pops her ult. I throw the revive beacon just in the corner. Angela starts diving me because the team realizes once I die, that's it. Adam can't do anything. He has no sustain. So I'm just trying to hide in little corners, little nooks and crevices. As long as I can just heal the team and stay up, I know we're good. Angela is chasing me, and Angela and Psylocke are chasing me around this map. And I'm just like, bruh, please leave me alone. Adam drops his ult. I panic drop my ult because I'm like, I know Adam's ult doesn't really heal. It just gives you a shield a little bit. And so does Rocket's. But at least with Rockets, you get the shield and the damage boost. So I'm like, oh, okay, that'll be enough. Literally, this entire sequence, Angela is chasing me. Like, chasing me. And sure enough, as soon as I ended up dying to Angela, we end up losing. That was the final point. So at the start of the next round, we are up 5-4. Everybody gets to go back to their original spots and what they were playing in terms of roles. I play Loki because I know we have a Cloak and Dagger, and Loki Cloak I feel is the best combo in terms of support, like pure healing. It's the best combo in the game if you don't have a counter for Cloak and Dagger. And I knew they weren't playing a counter for Cloak and Dagger, and at the same time I also knew that Jeff player wasn't going to swap off of Jeff or Adam. So at this point, we are just trying to hold. We're trying to sustain and hold and block as much as possible. We have to stop Psylocke from owning us, and we have to stop pretty much the entire enemy team. But Psylocke was the one that was holding us. So I'm communicating with Cloak that, hey, I pop first, then you pop. So that way, if they do have a counter, then I'm fine with dying, and then you can just come in and we'll be fine. It didn't work out in our favor. Sadly, we were getting slowly pushed back bit by bit by bit, and it just wasn't enough DPS. We weren't killing. They end up getting the point. Now it's 5-4. Once it goes to 5-4, I'm like, hey, I have my ult. I'm gonna copy Cloak, and then I'll copy Cloak, and once I copy Cloak, we should be okay. They don't have any ults right now. So I'm struggling trying to copy Cloak and Dagger. I start to panic and shoot Rocket Alt. I get Cloak and Dagger Alt off. I get stuck on the cart. That it blew me that I got stuck on the cart. Punisher tries to shotgun kill me, and they counter pop with their Cloak and Dagger Alt. Adam pops his ult, but it didn't matter because they thought we only had 2 defensive ults. Our Cloak and Dagger is still alive. That's the beauty of having 2 Cloak and Dagger ults. So I'm just now this entire time, my whole objective is just protect Cloak. And as long as we protect Cloak, they're in overtime. It's nothing you can do. We take point, and that's game. We win. This is a bronze rank game. That Scarlet Witch has 80 kills. It went 5-4. That game was long as hell. It was so fun. It was amazing. But you could tell some of those people are Smurfs. They clearly do not belong in bronze rank for a game to go like that. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Lycan. I'm out. Peace. I hope you have a good day.